Rua Doutor Heráclito de Figueiredo, com Rua das Nações. Aqui é a bairro Atlântico Sul.
Hi, today we want to talk about a very concrete issue in your daily lives. The potholes in the street of Campo Grande in Mato Grosso do Sul. We're using a news report from G1 in which residents fill the potholes themselves after getting no response from the city government. We'll connect this situation with our course discussions on interculturality, decoloniality, and critical literacy. The report we chose is titled Campo Grande. Residents filled potholes on their own after lack of response from City Hall. It shows that damaged streets cause financial losses, insecurity, and accidents. Because the city maintenance takes too long, some residents buy material and repair the potholes by themselves. At first, it seems like just another story about infrastructure, but if we look closer, we see people's bodies in motion, unpaid work, and a kind of normalization of neglect. In your course, we saw an important difference between doing a critical reading and talking about critical literacy. In a more traditional critical reading, we analyze the article itself. Who wrote it, what the topics, what data appear, and how the text is organized. In critical literacy, inspired by Paulo Freire, we go beyond the article and read the word behind it. We ask what power relations are present, who gets to speak, who is blamed for the potholes, and who is left out of the story. With this Freirian perspective, we start asking questions. Who speaks in the report? Only residents or also the city government and technical experts? Which neighborhoods appear in the image and examples? Central areas or the outskirts? Who are the people using those streets? Workers, children, people with disabilities? And above all, are the potholes treated as something natural that happens everywhere or as a result of political choices? Those questions already change how we understand the problem. When we're talking about interculturality, we are not only thinking about distinct cultures. We are also thinking about how different groups experience the same city in different ways. A pothole in a peripheral neighborhood where crowded buses pass every day has a very different impact from a single pothole in a central avenue. An intercultural and decolonial view reminds us that residents ever experience their knowledge of buses breaking, bikes falling, or people tripping. It's also legitimate knowledge about the city, not just complaining. The video from our discipline talks about the interculturality and the coloniality as a way to bring the body back and make visible what is usually unmarked. In official discourse, we often hear neutral terms like maintenance service, but in the practice, it's the residents who go out with shovels and wheelbarrows putting their own bodies on the street. When we highlight those bodies, who get hurt, who spend money, who takes the risk, we make visible what is normally hiding. This is a decolonial way of reading the report. Paulo Freire emphasized connecting reading the word with transformative actions. It is not enough to understand the situation and remain passive. Levinas talks about responsibility in front of the face of others. When some neighborhoods stay full of potholes for a long time, that also sends a message. And if some lives are less urgent than others. A city that accepts this level of neglect is, in practice, saying that some bodies matter more. Reading the report with Freire and Levinas, we see this is not only about asphalt, but about ethics and politics. If we stay only with an informative reading, we watch the report, feel angry, and they go back to our routine. With critical literacy, reading becomes a starting point of collective actions. Mapping the worst potholes, taking photos and videos, demanding solutions for the city government, and joining neighborhood councils or public hearings. At the same time, we should not romanticize residents fixing potholes as if these are something heroic or entrepreneurial. It actually reveals a structural failure and inequality in the right to the city. To conclude, using this report about potholes in Campo Grande, we can see that the city itself is a text that can be read critically. When we connect the article with interculturality, decoloniality, and the ideas of Freire and Levinas, we realize that we are not dealing only with infrastructure, but with bodies, silent voices, and responsibility for the other. Reading the word and the word, as Freire says, means refusing to treat neglect as a normal and understanding that the city can and should be rewriting by its residents. Thank you for watching.